In tonight's headlines, a study by the University of Hong Kong reveals a sharp rise in the number of senior citizens committing suicide. And a shocking discovery, human remains were found floating in the harbour near Hung Hom. And Coventry City set up a title clash with Manchester City in the English FA Cup.
A study by the Center for Suicide Research and Prevention at the University of Hong Kong has revealed a sharp rise in the suicide rate among the elderly. More than 1,000 suicides are recorded in Hong Kong annually, and as per 2022 figures, 44% of the victims were aged 60 or above.
被聆聽嘅感覺咧，其實而家有好多所謂長者嚟講，就係真係覺得係好缺少㗎啦。
Professor Paul Yip, head of the center, said elderly people feel isolated and lonely, and this feeling usually drives them to end their lives. Many feel abandoned once their children grow up and emigrate to other countries for various reasons. Physical illness takes a toll on mental health, which makes many seniors feel helpless. Long social isolation during the pandemic was also a contributing factor for the rise in the number of elderly suicides, Yip added.
關愛隊啊，有好啲咧，就係能夠主動去接觸呢班老人家咧。
We are joining forces with care teams to reach out to senior citizens, and we hope to provide the best care and services we can offer, Yip said. The center is also planning to expand its services from 6 to all 18 districts soon, which could help 10,000 elderly people in the long run. Businesses and other employers are urged to provide holidays to employees so that they could spend time visiting their elderly relatives and families amid long working hours. Janice Yu, Cable News.
The Appalachia Chow Main Street was bustling this afternoon. Hundreds of people gathered to watch the performances and dragon dance by 16 parade teams. The celebrations were part of the Appalachia Hong Shing Cultural Festival. This lady is a regular visitor to the Southern District and has taken part in the celebration every year.
I really like this festival. To see the local culture and everyone celebrating is really nice. Yeah, a lot of blessing.
The over a decade-old festival is held on the 13th day of the second month of the lunar calendar. Earlier this morning, residents of the district placed water lanterns in the sea to seek blessings. But that's not enough. The group, along with university students, would also pray to Hong Shing, or god of the Southern Sea, by taking 3 rounds in a dragon boat at the typhoon shelter near the Hong Shing Temple. This year's event was subsidized by the Tourism Board and is also part of the Day and Night Vibes campaign at the Southern District. Southern District Councillor Chang Chin Chung reviewed that authorities have put advertisements in MTR stations, as well as rolled out English brochures to lure revelers. Janice Low, Cable News.
In a shocking discovery, onlookers alerted police after they saw human remains floating in the harbour near Hung Hom. A forensic team assisted by other officers arrived at the scene shortly after 10 a.m. this morning and retrieved the body parts from the sea. The identity of the male victim is yet to be determined, and the human torso was taken away in plastic bags. It is not clear how long the remains had been floating. Police cordoned off the area for further investigation. The driver of a green minibus was arrested this afternoon for his alleged involvement in 3 hit-and-run instances. The 64-year-old first collided with another minibus while driving along Castle Peak Road around midday, slightly injuring 1 male and 2 female passengers in the other vehicle. Fleeing the scene, he then bumped into a KMB bus near Yoho Mall in Yuen Long. The last collision happened when the driver crashed into a private car on Onning Road before speeding off. Police eventually located the minibus at a garage in Shongqing Sanchun. The driver passed the alcohol and drugs test. The minibus was towed away for further investigation, and the driver was booked for dangerous driving.
Financial Secretary Paul Chan revealed that 20 new enterprises are eager to set up shop and expand their businesses in Hong Kong this week. Writing on his weekly blog, the minister said along with the 30 companies that have already opened offices in the city, the enterprises would invest over $40 billion. They would create 13,000 job opportunities, most of which are in management and scientific research. Chen also highlighted that ASEAN countries have become the SAR's second main destination of exports. While exports to US and the European Union have dropped by more than 12% in the past 2 decades, exports to countries of the Southeast Asian bloc have surged by 1.8%. The minister pointed out that a restructuring of the supply chain and new geopolitical developments were among the factors affecting the city's export performance.
Israeli police used water cannon to disperse protesters in Tel Aviv who want the government to resign. The demonstrations, which have been going on for a few weeks now, targeted Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the war in Gaza. Many were angered by the failure in negotiations to bring back Israeli hostages who are being held captive by Hamas for over 5 months now. In an attack on southern Israel in October last year, 1,200 Israelis were killed and around 250 were taken hostage. And Israeli retaliation has killed more than 31,000 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip so far. About 120 hostages were freed during a ceasefire 4 months ago, but the fate of the others is not known. Last week, US Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called for a regime change in Israel over Netanyahu's failure to resolve the crisis amid escalating violence in the Gaza Strip. Relatives and friends of hostages carried pictures of their loved ones demanding their release. At least 34 are dead according to the Israeli government, and 3 were accidentally killed by Israeli forces during an attempted rescue mission. Israel and Hamas are expected to resume negotiations soon.
And the latest list of 30 coolest streets in the world unveiled by UK publication Time Out, Hong Kong's Hollywood Road in Sheung Wan was crowned the second best. The 1-kilometer stretch, which runs between Central and Sheung Wan, is the second oldest road in the city after Queen's Road Central. Known for its antique shops and architectural heritage, the 180-year-old street does not disappoint and has been a go-to destination for most tourists.
It's a very big city. It's interesting, high skyscrapers and your culture and traditional mixed in this town. It's really nice. It's incredible.
Completed in 1844, Hollywood Road, just like many other parts of Hong Kong, is a classic blend of tradition and modernity. Manmu Temple, which was built 3 years later, is revered by locals and tourists. A picture with the graffiti in the background is a must.
I love it. This is one of my favorite places. Amazing view down this way, amazing people taking pictures, and my friends are here and we're having a brilliant time, amazing time.
This herbal tea shop has been around for 7 decades. This woman who runs the shop pointed out that the Sheung Wan neighborhood has gone through significant changes. Those visiting Sheung Wan now have varied interests, and shopping has taken a back seat as more people want to take snapshots. Janice Low, Cable News.